So what did we study about asthma yesterday? What is asthma? What happens in asthma? And what are the types of asthma? What is asthma? What is asthma? अरे कल ही पढ़े थे ना क्या हुआ? What is asthma? What are the types of asthma? How does it occur?
Difficulty in breathing.
Okay, someone is having difficulty in breathing. Why?
Air passage was like narrow.
Okay, air passageways are narrowing. Is that permanent or is it spasmodic? In the sense, transient constructions जैसा हो रहा है या एक ही बार में खाली बंद हो जा रहा पूरा?
Transition.
It is transient. Transient means that, so for example, transient means that the bronchi and the tubules that are present inside respiratory tubules, terminal bronchiole, ये पूरे जो है आपके lung में, they are going and switching in between this. So let's suppose this is dilated and this is the normal bronchiole. It is switching in between constricted and dilated. Okay, that is a spasm. Essentially, muscles are contracting, smooth muscles are contracting, which is causing their constriction. This is happening on a timed interval, that is transient contraction. Okay, and asthma is an episodic disease. So, what will happen if the episode does not stop? What do you call that? Suppose someone is having an asthma attack and their attack is not subsiding within a few minutes, even after taking medication. What will be that condition? Yesterday I told you it's an emergency condition, Balke. See, if you take pathology this lightly, you will definitely fail in PPG. I'll give it to you in writing. It will not matter if you memorize everything in pharmacology because that itself is the ocean. If you are not, pathology is supposed to be an easy subject that you can combine with genetics and cover for your lacking pharmacology. If you are not taking pathology seriously, you will fail PPG. Your super seniors who wrote the exam, I think out of 40, some 10 or 9 people passed. Take this very seriously. आप लोग इतना lightly अभी से लिए बोले तो it will be very very hard for you to cope up in the end. I'm not sure what you're doing after the class. If you don't even know what happened in the previous class, how are you supposed to remember the whole of the syllabus? And we have barely covered about 15% of the total syllabus. Not even 15%, I think. 12% maybe. Barely stepped into what is pathology. You have a lot more to cover. आप लोग इतना lightly अगर पढ़े तो बहुत मुश्किल होती. And what about tomorrow's exam? Will you be able to write in this condition? ऐसा है बोले तो कुछ याद है पोर्शन क्या था एग्जाम का एग्जाम है बोल के भी याद है
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है की मर्जी हम पढ़ रहे नहीं पढ़ रहे इट इज अप टू यू ब्रोंकिएक्टोसिस So this is the last complication, or this is the last part of COPD that happens in COPD. Bronchiectasis is essentially abnormal and irreversible dilation of your bronchi and bronchioles. Okay, so this is abnormal and irreversible bronchi or bronchioles dilation. Okay, the dilation is more than 2 mm in diameter. Okay, they will dilate to more than 2 mm diameter, and this will happen. See, this will happen in along with inflammatory condition. So, because of inflammation, there will be weakening of bronchial walls, which will ultimately cause this abnormal dilation. All right, that bronchial wall will lose its elasticity because of damage. In this, the person will have persistent cough, okay, and the expectoration will be very copious, and their expectoration will be foul smelling. It will be purulent. Okay, this foul smell is because of bacterial growth. So, if you look at the etiopathogenesis of bronchiectasis, क्या होता? Whether it is starting by infection or whether it is, there are two main reasons. Okay, एक तो obstruction से हो रहा, endobronchial obstruction हो रहा. There is something that is blocking the pathway of air. It could be a foreign body that is getting lodged into your respiratory tract, or it could be a neoplastic growth. So essentially a cancerous tumor that's blocking the air passageway, or it could be an enlarged lymph node as well. Okay, if you look at etiopathogenesis, there are two main reasons. One is endobronchial obstruction, in which there is something that is blocking the flow of air, and that blockage essentially is leading to damage. Okay, वहां पर as soon as what do you call, your lungs are not able to, you are not able to inhale or exhale air, what will happen is at a microcellular level, the damage will start, and because of that, what will happen is your lungs will start to collapse. अगर air pressure maintain नहीं कर सकते, your lungs are like balloons that are expanding and relaxing. So once air is not able to come in properly, your alveoli will collapse. That collapse is called atelectasis. Okay, there will be complete or partial atelectasis. Atelectasis is essentially complete or partial collapse of the lung because of improper ventilation. Okay, eventually what will happen is this will increase the damage that is it will increase the total damage that is occurring. मतलब वहां पर क्या होता, because of hypoxia, essentially inflammation will start, that will be the trigger for damage, and through hypoxia what will happen is further complications will start occurring. That is one way. Then another way is that ये कैसा आ रहा, the other way is through infection. So let us suppose there is infection, and through infection there is a bacteria that is coming near your in your lungs, and it is infecting the area of those lungs. As the infection spreads, inflammation gets triggered. As inflammation happens, there will be edema, there will be pus creation, and that will start blockage. Exudate fluid will come, the bronchial walls, they will start getting destroyed, and both of this will happen because of the exudate obstruction is occurring, and because of the destruction of the surrounding walls, dilation is occurring. Because they are getting destroyed, they are losing their elasticity, and as they lose their elasticity, they'll get permanently dilated, abnormally and irreversibly dilated. So this is happening both in bronchi and in bronchiole. Okay, generally terminal bronchiole and उसके नीचे से होता. One second, think yeah, ऐसा रहता है. So if you look at a person's lung, even at a smaller bronchi and bronchiolar level, you'll be able to see that the normal airway is getting blocked by this mucus and this pus that is filling in that area. पहले mucus fill होने लगता, उसके बाद pus आने लगता. That pus in turn is because of infection. Okay, even if it is starting with an obstruction, let's suppose because there is a foreign body or there is cancer, yeah, lymph node enlarged हो जा रहा, initially there is blockage in airway. Because of blockage of airway, what will happen is वहां पर हाइपोक्सिक डैमेज होने लगता है, हाइपोक्सिक डैमेज की वजह से इन्फ्लेमेशन होता, एंड बिकॉज देयर इज हाइपोक्सिया, anaerobic bacteria have the chance to grow. ठीक है, that in turn can lead to infections altogether. So it's a very vicious cycle. ठीक है, अगर obstruction से start हो रहा या infection से start हो रहा, either way it is not letting or to put it in another way, it is blocking the flow of air to a more greater degree by inflammatory damage, by damage to your bronchial walls and alveolar septa and all of that, and it is leading to permanent dilation of those structures. Because of permanent dilation, your breathing pattern will change, and ultimately what will happen is the patient will have a lot of pain even while breathing. They'll be coughing persistently, and their cough will have a lot of sputum as well as pus. So one specific criteria for you to diagnose a patient with bronchiectasis is that they will start coughing out foul smelling or bad smelling purulent sputum. The sputum will have pus. That pus is because of bacterial infection or any infection for that matter. ठीक है, या तो obstruction से start हो रहा या infection से start हो रहा, जैसे भी start हो रहा, वहां पर pus बनने लगता in bronchiectasis. Okay, so essentially if you put that in a flow chart, ऐसा रहता. So let us suppose we start with infection. Example, bronchiectasis is being triggered because of infection. तो पहले infection हुआ, ठीक है, infection is triggering inflammation. Because there is inflammation, two things will happen. First is that exudative fluid will start to be released. The nearby blood vessel है वो damage होती है and exudative fluid will start coming out. This exudative fluid will go and cause an obstruction in the nearby bronchi and bronchioles. Okay. Now, other than this, what will happen is because of inflammatory damage, not just exudate is released, but you will also have destruction of alveolar walls. जो inflammatory tissues आते हैं वहाँ पर inflammatory mediators release होते हैं, they will start damaging the surrounding structures. Okay, this will cause destruction of surrounding structures, and ultimately what will happen is because of this obstruction, because of this destruction, it will lead to dilation, permanent dilation of dilatation, right? Dilatation of your alveoli and bronchi and bronchioles. Okay, and this is the cycle that keeps on repeating. And what happens is because of obstruction, अब वहाँ पर obstruction हुआ बोले तो oxygen नहीं आ रहा, oxygen नहीं आ रहा बोले तो there is a good chance that anaerobic bacteria can start proliferating in that area. It will become a dark, moist place where oxygen is not reaching properly. Very good grounds for anaerobic bacteria to grow. So this will further trigger even serious infection. This will be the cycle that keeps on continuing in bronchiectasis. ठीक है, अगर इन्फेक्शन से स्टार्ट हो रहा, अगर इन्फेक्शन के बदले में आप ऑब्स्ट्रक्शन लगा दिए, फॉरेन बॉडी से रहने दो या नियोप्लास्मिक ग्रोथ से रहने दो, नियोप्लास्टिक ग्रोथ से, इट इज कॉजिंग हाइपोक्सिया. हाइपोक्सिया से एनारोबिक इन्फेक्शन हो रहा, वहां से फिर इन्फ्लेमेशन हो रहा एंड द प्रोसेस कंटिन्यूस. ठीक है, दिस इज हाउ ब्रोंकिएक्टासिस occurs. ये समझ में आया हाउ इट इज हैपनिंग, इडियोपैथोजेनेसिस ऑफ ब्रोंकिएक्टासिस? If you have doubts, please ask. You can put it in the chat section as well if you're not able to use your microphone or whatever. अच्छा, तो ये पेशेंट्स जो है इन लोगों के अंदर ऑब्वियसली द मेन साइन विल बी shortness of breath, they'll not be able to breathe properly, they'll have dyspnea, difficulty in breathing as well. Along with that, they will have shortness of breath, especially on exertion, Along with that, they will also have this thing. They might run a slight fever. So normal जो क्या बोलते हैं infection के problems रहते हैं, fever होता, जो normal signs inflammation के रहते, they will have chronic cough with smelly and purulent sputum. Okay. Some patients might even have hemoptysis. They will start coughing blood. That is hemoptysis. So ये patients में recurrently pneumonia भी होता. Okay. Recurrent pneumonia, sinusitis is also very common. If this continues, bronchiectasis continues for a long period of time, you will see late complications. Late complications like clubbing of fingers. So nails will get clubbed. In the next class, I'll show you the image. So essentially, what happens is, if you look at a nail, someone's nail will be flat. Okay. अब clubbing of nails में क्या हो रहा? That nail is becoming like this. Okay. So it will curve literally. They become clubbed in shape. Clubbing of nail occurs. This generally occurs because of hypoxia. In any case, अगर anemia भी है, severe anemia या बहुत severe hypoxia है तो nails club होने लगते हैं. Okay. Clubbing of nails या metastatic abscesses होने लगते हैं. Especially these metastatic abscesses. Abscess is essentially a condition in which I think abscess इससे पहले पढ़ाया था आपको मैं. Edema के time पे, if I remember correctly, you had abscess also, right? आप लोगों को abscess पढ़ा है नहीं पढ़ा है?
Formation of pus.
So suppuration, yeah. Suppurative abscesses आपको था ना, वो पढ़ाए थे. Formation of pus, essentially there is a cavity that is formed and in that cavity there will be pus that gets collected. That is an abscess. तो ये infection क्या होता है? ये infection अलग-अलग जगह metastasize होता है. This infection will literally spread through your blood or through your lymph to all over your body, and especially metastatic abscesses can be seen in brain because of this. That is a late stage complication of bronchiectasis. Sometimes the patient will also develop cor pulmonale, right-sided heart failure, or they might also develop amyloidosis. Amyloidosis is a problem in which one specific type of protein will start getting accumulated inside your body, in different organs of your body. Amyloid protein will get better, and that will create complications altogether. So those are some of the clinical features of bronchiectasis. समझ में आया या फिर से समझाना कुछ पार्ट? फिर क्वेश्चन पूछे तो कंप्लीट साइलेंस रहता.
समझ में आया सर.
पक्का पूरा को समझ में आया? I don't mind explaining it again 2-3
Yes, sir.
times. Okay. Then we have another small topic, that is lung abscesses. Okay. So the main causes, the two main causes, two broadly classified causes. Okay. एक तो primary lung abscesses रहते हैं या secondary lung abscesses रहते हैं. Primary lung abscess is developing in a normal lung. Okay. So the patient is completely normal, or at least their lung is completely normal, and they are aspirating. Generally, ये क्या होता? They are aspirating some gastrointestinal material, या फिर they are getting infected by certain bacteria. ये bacterial infection या bronchial obstruction या aspiration of foreign material, ठीक है? Of infected foreign material especially, या फिर trauma है lung को, any physical trauma. All of these will be categorized under primary lung abscess. Secondary lung abscess में the patient will develop lung abscess as a complication, meaning the patient is already suffering from some problem. उनको कोई ना कोई problem, कोई ना कोई disease है, उसके ऊपर they are developing lung abscess because of that disease. So for example, let's suppose the patient has septicemia, or they have a severe infection somewhere in their body, and that bacteria is traveling through your body. Let's suppose it is hepatitis, and that bacteria is going through your liver. It is entering blood circulation, and it is leading its way all the way to the lung, and there it is creating problems. That will be a secondary complication or secondary lung abscess. It is occurring as a complication. So एक side से दूसरी side को जाके problem create कर रहा. Again, it could be bacterial infection. Most common is bacterial infection या septic embolism है. उसकी वजह से भी हो सकता. Okay. Mainly what happens is if you look at an abscess as a rectal. Yeah, this is how an abscess looks. Okay. Sometimes what will happen is in this abscess, that cavity that is formed can grow up to almost 5 to 6 centimeters in diameter, and the abscess is formed mainly because of suppurative destruction. There is pus formation, there is suppurative destruction of lung parenchyma, and there will be cavitation, cavity formation. Okay. This cavity is initially surrounded by acute inflammation. Especially inside the wall, it will be surrounded by acute inflammation. वहाँ पर उतना damage हो रहा है तो obviously there will be acute inflammation. Later on, what happens is that acute inflammatory material gets replaced by exudate. That exudate is coming from lymphocytes. एक बार inflammation trigger हुआ, so first of all the bacteria is coming. It is entering into your lungs and it is creating damage. As it is creating damage, it will create a cavity. ठीक है, छोटी damage से start होता. And it can vary in between a few millimeters to 5 to 6 centimeters. It is not that all the patients should have 5 to 6 centimeters, 5 to 6 centimeters size abscess, but it is creating cavities, and in that cavity you'll be able to find pus. Initially, that pus will be because of acute inflammation. Slowly, it will get replaced by exudate. Okay, exudate of lymphocytes, plasma cells, macrophages. वो पूरे जो inflammatory cells वहाँ पर जो involved होते हैं, and when they die essentially because of the bacteria, all of that debris will start getting collected. Eventually, what will happen is, especially in chronic cases where that abscess is going on for a long period of time, there will be fibroblastic proliferation. वहाँ पर fibroblasts आने लगते हैं, and there will be scar formation. You will have a fibrocollagenic wall being formed around the abscess. ठीक है. Now most abscesses will heal. अगर आप antibiotics use करें तो generally most abscesses should heal. If not, what will happen is they will form a complication called empyema. Empyema में क्या होता? They are polyps. So empyema में essentially ऐसा रहता है. So empyema is a condition in which, let us suppose this is the lung, ठीक है, and यहाँ पर cavity form, ठीक है, abscess form. So इधर से slowly this fluid or that pus is getting released. Okay, so let us suppose the pus है is this color. ठीक है. What will happen is, because of the damage to your wall of the lung, eventually there will be a structure like a balloon that gets projected into your pleural space. It will not be that big, it will be very small, but that is essentially empyema, and this projection itself will have that fluid as well. So ये fluid इसके अंदर भी आता. ठीक है. This is present inside the person's pleural cavity or pleural space. Right? यहाँ पर जो pleural space है, we use green. जो parietal pleura है उसकी तरफ तक जाने लगता है. Visceral pleura and parietal pleura के बीच में जाने लगता है. Okay? That is essentially empyema. That can develop through an abscess. This is a complication that occurs if abscesses are not controlled in time. Now, the causative organism that is causing this thing, lung abscess here, if it is traveling to your brain, there it can cause an abscess as well. Brain abscess भी होते हैं, especially अगर कोई emboli है, that embolism is essentially, let's suppose it is a septic emboli. Yes, septic emboli, if it is reaching all the way up to your brain, it can cause a brain abscess there. And sometimes it can even lead to amyloidosis. Okay? You have to perform a bronchoscopy just to rule out this thing. Because sometimes what happens is, because of underlying malignancy, because of cancer, lung abscess can develop. So almost in 10 to 15% of cases, the cause of lung abscesses will be cancer. Because there is an underlying malignancy, that cavitation is because of a malignancy. Okay? So whenever you come across lung abscess, make sure you prescribe or you ask for a bronchoscopy to be done. Once the bronchoscopy comes out clean, then you can at least rule out that it is not due to cancer. All right. So that is about lung abscess. Any doubts? ओके, बोलो पक्का, किसी को भी डाउट नहीं है? All right. Now coming to tumors of the lung. There are 3-4 types of main tumors. Okay, the most common tumor will be a bronchogenic carcinoma. Carcinoma is the most common type of tumor that will occur in the lung. It is the primary causing lung cancer. इसको ब्रोंकोजेनिक कार्सिनोमा बोलते हैं. अब ब्रोंकोजेनिक कार्सिनोमा अलग अलग टाइप का रह सकते हैं. Essentially cancer developing from the epithelial cells. 90 to 95% of all lung cancers are bronchogenic carcinoma. ठीक है, 80% of lung cancers mainly occur in smokers, chronic smokers, sometimes even acute smokers, but mostly smokers who have been using cigarette smoking cigarette for a long period of time. उन लोगों के अंदर रिस्क बहुत रहता. And it is also, this risk will also increase if they are getting exposed to radiation, or if they are getting exposed to asbestos, nickel, gold, iron, arsenic, or atmospheric pollution, heavy metals, essentially those specific heavy metals. Yeah, there can be certain dietary factors also that can influence the causation of cancer, lung cancer. Okay, एक तो 80% higher risk, 80% of lung cancers in smokers. Okay, risk will increase if they are being exposed to radiation, asbestos, nickel, gold. So even people who work in industries with nickel, or people who are jewelers who make jewelry, especially out of gold, will be at a risk. Blacksmiths or smelters of iron, people who deal with arsenic, atmospheric pollution, and finally dietary factors. All of these have a role in increasing the risk of people who can develop, or increasing the risk of developing a bronchogenic carcinoma. Now, generally speaking, bronchogenic carcinoma जो है, it can be squamous cell carcinoma, it can be adenocarcinoma, large cell carcinoma, या small cell carcinoma. We'll go after them one by one. Okay. Even though adenocarcinoma is the most common one out of all the types of carcinomas that occur, 4 main types है. Okay. We have adenocarcinoma in bronchocarcinoma, bronchogenic carcinoma. Okay, adenocarcinoma एक है. Then we have bronchoalveolar carcinoma, bronchoalveolar carcinomas. Then small cell carcinoma, and finally large cell carcinoma. Okay. These are the 4 main types of bronchogenic carcinomas. Now, if you look at adenocarcinoma, ऐसा दिखता है. Adenocarcinoma. Yeah. So this is how an adenocarcinoma looks. Adenocarcinoma is essentially a cancer that is developing from glandular tissue. Okay, जो mucus producing glands रहते हैं आपके lungs में, वहां से develop हो रहा cancer, and there is neoplasms that are occurring in those cells, and that is leading to carcinoma. Essentially, what will happen is, now these glandular elements can be either acinar or cartilage, कैसे भी. Sometimes even solid masses with only occasional mucin producing glands. ये किसी में भी हो सकता, and mostly adenocarcinomas will occur at the periphery. So जो peripheral location है आपके lungs की, वहां पर होने का ज्यादा चांस रहता है इसका, and they're generally smaller in size. Now almost all organ systems जो भी अपन pathology पढ़ेंगे, now we discussed about lung in this one, right? We discussed what is pneumonia, TB and all of that. It will end with cancer of that particular organ system. So later on, let's suppose we leave इसके बाद अपन cardiovascular पढ़ेंगे, तो cardiovascular problems, pericardial effusion, what is CAD, endocarditis, rheumatic heart disease, वो पूरा पढ़ के फिर cancer of heart में जाएंगे. So in each of them, you do not have a lot of detail, so keep it brief because pathophysiology and pathogenesis of cancers can be very, very broad and बहुत डिटेल में जा सकते हैं, but you don't need that much amount of detail at your level. Just basic stuff is more than enough. What is that cancer? Where is it originating from? And what does it do? That is more than enough. You don't need to go into complete detail of all of it. Okay. Location, size, origin. Okay. And maybe its function as well. Like if there is any specific function that it is doing. Then we have bronchoalveolar carcinomas को मेरे को image नहीं मिली थी. It was only CT, and I'm not sure whether you can read a CT or whether you can distinguish between normal and cancerous cells. That is why I didn't show it to you. Now bronchoalveolar carcinoma जो है, these arise from terminal bronchioles. है क्या? No, I don't have one. Let me just check. Yeah, no, I don't have it. So bronchoalveolar carcinoma जो है, these will arise from terminal bronchioles. Okay. And they will spread generally along the alveolar septa, so along the division line between alveoli, उसके along ये बढ़ने लगता है. The tumor is generally composed of tall and columnar cells. Columnar रह सकते हैं, कभी-कभी cuboidal epithelium cells भी रह सकते हैं, which are, they will project like papillary formation. They will grow along the alveolar septa, and from that alveolar septa, they will project out. तो छोटे-छोटे बालों को ऐसा project होने लगते हैं, like papillary formations, ठीक है, into the alveolar space. So, for example, let's suppose this is your alveolus. These things will literally come out like this. Okay, they'll be clustered very closely, so you can see a proper blob, okay, proper thick formation of the carcinoma. But if you look very, very closely, you'll be able to see that they are papillary formations. Okay, कभी-कभी ये papilla ऐसे भी रहते हैं, but they are very close to distinguish. Now, essentially, alveolar walls say they are moving or they are projecting into the alveolus. All right, and they go in from the terminal bronchioles and down. Terminal bronchiole, respiratory bronchiole, and so on and so forth. Okay. Then we have small cell carcinoma. Small cell carcinoma जो है, ऐसा दिखता है. Okay. Now, small cell carcinoma is generally centrally situated near the hilus. Okay. Most of bronchogenic carcinomas occur in and about the hilus, specifically small cell carcinoma. Hilus के नजदीक ही रहता. And ectopic hormone production is very, very common in small cell carcinomas. Now, cell itself will be very small. It will be generally round or oval in shape, and it will have very little cytoplasm altogether. These cells will generally grow in clusters. Okay, नजदीक clusters. Grapes कैसे grow होते हैं, वैसे grow होते हैं in clusters. Okay? The fruit grape वैसा grow होती है. Okay, but they will not show squamous or glandular organization. You will not see any specific organization, meaning you will not be able to understand what type of cell it is. It is just a growth that is occurring, which is very dense. Sometimes you can see neurosecretory granules that are being released from it. All right. Then we have large cell carcinomas. Large cell carcinomas ऐसे रहते हैं. Okay. Large cell carcinomas जो है, these are obviously the name suggests that they are larger in size. ये कैसा बोलते हैं, polygonal cells with a vesicular nucleus. Okay, the nucleus will be very prominent in them, and they have a vesicular nucleus. Generally, they will represent either undifferentiated squamous cell carcinoma या undifferentiated adenocarcinoma. दोनों में से कोई एक रहता है. They are undifferentiated. You will not be able to understand what is the complete. So, for example, एक जो original cell से, it is becoming a squamous cell, or from original cell it is becoming a glandular cell. That differentiation does not occur. That is why it is called an undifferentiated squamous cell carcinoma or undifferentiated adenocarcinoma. As the new cells start developing, जो neoplasm है, जो cancer है, उसमें से वो नए cells will not undergo complete maturation or they will not undergo complete morphological change. They will not completely differentiate into different type of cells. You'll only be able to see large polygonal cells with a very prominent and vesicular nucleus. All right. We'll discuss about bronchial carcinoids. There are three more small types of tumors of your lung. We'll discuss that in the next class. Okay.